I don't know if anybody in here wants to reach out to the city manager about using their home over there, but they did line at the last city council meeting about using their space over there for joint meetings for planning zoning. So that might be a good alternative to doing it at the extension building. Somebody that sits on that would like to reach out to them,
Well,
see it, because
nobody from the city usually show.
I don't know, that would kind of could encourage him. Could encourage him. That'd be something for Luke to do. Luke's on both.
Yeah, that's true.
There's an ordinance thing.
We'll try. Okay.
Okay.
All right, good morning, everyone. It is 9 a.m. We'll call the meeting of the Codington County Board of Commissioners to order. Today is Tuesday, August 25th, 2026. We'll begin with the Pledge of Allegiance. Commissioner Johnson, will you lead us?
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you very much. We did test the phone line this morning. It is working appropriately, so we will take public comments during that portion of our meeting. That number is 882-6248. If you would like to call and leave a message, you can call in 882-6297. That number does ring into our auditor's office. They will give you your number and we will reach out to you during the public comment section of the meeting. Commissioners, do you have any conflict of interest items this in the agenda? None. We'll look for a motion to approve the August 25th agenda.
We'll move.
Motion by McElhaney, second by Gable. Any discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Item number 5 is action to approve the August 18th minutes.
So move. Second.
Motion by Johnson, second by Schwer. Discussion. Seeing none, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? That motion carries. Monthly reports. We'll begin with emergency management. Andrew Delgado. Good morning, Andrew.
Morning, Andrew.
And it dodged a bullet last night. It was all around us. Bay County. and
Yeah,
Clark County.
I don't mind that.
Yeah, that's for sure.
All right, for our office, we completed final reviews for our hazmat plan, sent revisions back to First District, and they got those in. We anticipate that being approved at the next LEPC meeting on September 8th. And then following that, it'll come to county commissioners for final approval. Then we can close out that project, which was funded in part by the HMEP grant. Sherry and I participated in communication drills for the region meeting. We received our 2025 Homeland Security Grant award letter. We'll talk about that a little bit more later. Search and rescue, it was a pretty full month. We participated in Hook 'em with Heroes, National Night Out, End of Summer Summerfest. Also held the 22nd annual Ultimate Sportsman Raffle, which is the main fundraising event. They were also paid out to assist responders on multiple calls, twice for drone support, and then once to assist with a rural fire. Initially, just to fill air tanks, but ended up with doing some traffic control while they were on scene, and also brought out a light set upon the fire chief's request. And then I've been assisting with the coordination piece for ICS 300. We have a course that is being hosted at the fire department from September 29th to October 1st. Deadline to sign up for that is 3 weeks prior to the course start date. That's really important for staffing the EOC in large scale events, and then just generally improving overall, readiness. It's showing those intermediate level, uh, employees, like how expanding incidents, how they should be handled. I think that's all I have for the monthly reports part of it, pending your questions.
Any questions on the monthly report? All right, if not, let's move down to item number 7. This is the LEMP grant, also known as the Local Emergency Management Performance Grant. Andrew, that's you as well.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I read the updated agreement for the EMPG participation. Really, there were just a couple things that jumped out at me. Different from years past. One is an annual LEOP review, which includes stakeholders and county commissioners. And then we'll need to get like a rostered list of who provided input on that. Overall, it's probably a good thing. I had a commander tell me like, hey, at some point, you need to put it forth an 80% solution and, run with it. I've like I rewrote almost essentially the entire thing, but I mean, it's lived in my computer and I need to be okay with, some of the errors and stuff that come with, doing that in a silo and making sure that everybody is able to provide input and whatnot. And so we can improve that and get that officially updated. And then the other thing was crisis track training. We put one on last year here in Codington County for a lot of our townships and city officials. That is the new software for doing PDAs, preliminary damage assessments. We either need to host one ourselves or partner with a neighboring county. And like we would, probably just take turns hosting it, but make that available for, the people who are interested from both counties. So yeah, recommend that we participate in it, I guess.
Okay. You're looking for an action
So,
to participate.
To approve.
Do you have a motion? Approve and second by Gable.
Participate, I should say.
Discussion, Commissioner Gable.
So you said, what was the name of the new software that you mentioned?
Oh.
For incident reporting?
Crisis track.
Is that something, do we already have that, or is that?
Yeah, the state provides that. That's how they want to receive the PDAs in the future.
I had a chance, I attended that training last year, and it's good, especially for the township people. It's makes it a lot clearer and more understanding.
Definitely streamlines the process.
It makes it so much more accurate at the state level, being able to get real-time information on how much damage has actually occurred statewide. For them, it's a little bit hard. I think for them, like the old paper way, they just rely on what they're hearing from counties. So
Just curious. So and the annual review that involves county commissioners, do you run that, or is that something done by?
yeah, I would probably, yeah. Do you know what time of year works best? I guess we can hash that out later, but.
Right, we do have a motion by McElhaney, a second by Gable. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Discussion possible action for down payment of $15,834.14 to Team Lodge for initiating the build of a joint command post trailer from Homeland Security grant funds. Andrew.
Yeah, so back prior to the 2025 window to apply for the Homeland Security grant, sat down with representatives from the fire department, police department, sheriff's office, and it was determined that like one of the things that would be like better help us to respond to incidents would be a command post trailer, a joint command post trailer, one that's updated, a little bit better at, you know, like how we do business now. I think there's like an old, like 2004 one that, you know, really doesn't get pulled out, just because it's, you know, old and doesn't, you know, suit the needs, very well. So jointly we decided, hey, let's come together and work together on a project like this that would help us respond to large incidents. Team Lodge was the bid that we ultimately decided to go with. There were lots of delays, but over the last month, we were awarded $75,000 for the purchase of this trailer. Based on the specs and everything that, I mean, Brent Solom and Steve Rehorse were really kind of the two people that were, you know, like, hey, like what requirements do we need in this? There was you know, after all the delays, you know, like now the cost is $79,170, 72 cents. Team Lodge requires the down payment to start the build on that. Homeland Security is a reimbursed, you know, thing. So, I mean, they would ultimately end up reimbursing $75,000 of that. And then the remainder balance would be split equally amongst the four participating entities, I suppose.
You're looking about a $4,000.
Yeah, so
difference between the two.
ultimately, like it comes out to like $1,042.68 per department. So,
Okay.
And you have that in your budget?
yep.
Okay.
Second that.
Motion by Gable, second by McElhaney. Any discussion?
Just to, Mr. Chair, just to clarify, so we pay down payment now, and is that the 75,000 reimbursement, that's a guaranteed DHS?
Yes. So yeah, we do the down payment now. They'll build the trailer, then they'll send final invoices out. Once we pay that, Homeland Security money will be added to my budget to
Andrew,
take the lion's share.
question that I have, can you just kind of give us a scenario when that command post trailer would be utilized, under what circumstances we would pull that out and when it would be utilized?
Yeah, I mean, like large scale events. I mean, it could be planned events. Like, I mean, it could be used for, you know, fireworks show or end of summer fest, or, you know, anytime when there's multiple agencies working together, like it gives us, you know, shared space for coordination. So I mean, really you're only limited by your imagination on what things could happen where multiple agencies would be working together that would need to be able to share office space and coordinate. So like large fires or, you know, hazmat incidents, you know, could be several things.
Radios to outfit the trailer, I assume, have been looked at. Is that another expense that we're going to have to budget for, or what's going to happen there?
I mean, we do have radios in some of the existing ones, but yeah, I think that they would largely be swapped over into the new one. And then if they're, yeah, we've looked at it. I mean, we have at least a couple radios to go in there.
Okay. And then the existing 2004 trailer that's out at search and rescue right now, what's the intent with that trailer?
That's going back to the PD here. I don't know.
Is that city owned?
Yeah, that one's by the city. Yep.
Okay. Okay, so we have a motion and a second. Any further questions? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. All right, discussion possible action to approve the addition of William Bulfer to the Codington County Search and Rescue Team. This is just a formality for insurance purposes and requirements.
Yeah, ultimately, he was a very solid applicant, recommended yes by interview committee, and quorum of the Search and Rescue Board voted yes that we add him to the team.
Move to approve.
Motion by Benson, second by Schwer. Discussion. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.
Thank you.
Item number 10, thank you, Andrew. Discussion possible action to allow Community Services Office to, oh, I'm sorry. Let's go back to Sheriff Brad. Almost forgot about the sheriff's report. Seeing you sitting back there, just
Hi, Brad.
overlooked you.
Morning, Brad.
Morning.
How's it going today? Good.
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 All right.
One, pass them on down. Sure, we get them split up evenly here. All right, we'll start out with our monthly commissary balance sheet there on the first page. For the month of July 2026, the grand total at the end of July was $26,798.54. Breaking that down a little bit, $981.72 was in the lobby ATM booking kiosk, and another $25,816.82 was in the checking account there. To break that down a little bit further in the middle there, of all that money, $4,412.65 was resident balances, $4,939.80 was commissary items, and funds balance in the account was $17,446.09, which leaves us back to our $26,798.54. If you jump on down to the bottom there, you'll see we received $2,384.68 in commission. To break that down a little bit, commissary commission was $1,650.38. Phone commission was $423.08. And kiosk commission was $311.22. You want to jump to the next page there, go over the checking account for the sheriff's office here. The bank balance end of July 2026 was $10,786.41. Break that down. We had $200 in fingerprint fees that were collected, $20 in copy fees that were collected, $9,401.91 in sheriff's fees collected, and $275 in warrant fees collected, for a grand total of $9,896.91, leaving our total back to the $889.50 that we started with. Jump to the next page there. You'll see, we'll kind of go over some sheriff's office activity and calls for service. For the month of July, there was 554 cases and calls for service. 7 accident reports were done. 61 warrants were served. 195 civil papers were served, and 3,992 transport miles. A total of 17 trips and 24 people that were transported around the state and around the country a little bit there. If we jump down to the middle of the page there, you'll see our jail activity. For the month of July, our average daily population was 63.29. Our high average daily population was 68, and that was on the 26th. Our low ADP was 59, and that was on the 1st of the month. 24/7 program on the Scram bracelet, we had 10 participants. We had 9 participants on remote breath, 49 people on the twice daily PBT, and 40 people on the twice weekly UA. 0 people on the sweat patch, for a grand total of 108 participants on the 24/7 program. There was 208 bookings that were done in the month of July. You can see that number is kind of staying average with the rest of the months there. And if you jump on down to the bottom, you'll see out of county contracts, we collected $25,758.27, $2,040 in work release fees. 24/7 fees, we collected $10,500.75. You can see the out-of-county contracts are staying a little bit high. We're still receiving a lot of money there from the state. As we sit right now, there was 7 inmates that we're holding for the state currently, and just 1 for an out-of-county contract. So the rest are all county inmates. So that breaks that down a little bit there. Any questions there?
Good.
All right. Well, next, let's talk about ALPR and flock a little bit. I'm sure you guys have heard about that in the news a little bit. What is that exactly? So here's where we're sitting right now in Codington County. We recently just pulled down the last camera that we've had standing up. We've had an issue with cameras getting vandalized, and I can't keep them up and I can't keep them working. So like I say, due to vandalisms, we've taken them down. The tool's not running, it's not working, it's not helping anybody. So right now we've got them, the ones that are all the last one that was still standing, which was still vandalized, taken down, and they're all in storage for the time being. It's not a local issue here. This is a national problem that everybody's seeing. Parts and service are backed up nationwide. It's not just us that are seeing these issues with our stationary cameras. Trying to get Flock out here to service them has been difficult because of the long wait time for parts and everything. So I'm also hearing that there may be legislation coming here this session. I've talked with a couple legislatures and kind of been keeping them informed a little bit. Looks like my vehicle is done, service there. With that in mind, I don't think it's responsible to be spending more resources. The deputy's been spending a lot of time babysitting the cameras. We've got some cameras on cameras. At what point do you kind of pull back and reevaluate the process here a little bit? So we are working on some leads on those cameras. We do still have some things that we're working on there. But like I say, let's see what happens in the legislature. If it passes legislature muster here going forward, we can reevaluate at that time. So I encourage everybody to reach out to your legislators here. If there's any guardrails that they put in place, we're all in favor of them. I'm pretty sure there probably won't be any more strict than our current policy that we have in place right now. Like I say, we have audits and deputy only access and everything right now. So here's the thing, when ALPR is working, it works great. It really works. Just recently, a couple years ago, Clark County had a kidnapping, a child that got kidnapped, and ALPR is what found that child. So it works. That was here right next door to us here in Bradley, South Dakota. Sioux Falls just recently had a homicide that was solved from ALPR. Again, it works, it helps, it's a tool for law enforcement to use. Even locally here, we've had 6, 7 stolen vehicles, right, Ren? Yeah. That we've been able to identify and be able to capture the participants. And I know the city's had good luck with their ALPR. So it is a good law enforcement tool. At the end of the day, criminals are using more technology every day, right? We got to stay up on it. So as law enforcement, we got to constantly be paying attention to what they're using, what they're doing to try to keep us safe. If we didn't advance in our technology over the years, we would still be stuck in the 80s with a nightstick and a mag light flashlight carrying that around. I know Troy's been around for law enforcement for quite some time. He's seen a lot of advancements in technology, to computers in the cars, to body cameras, to tasers, to all kinds of different types of equipment. So
Just for the record, I did carry a mag light, but not a baton.
not a baton.
Not a nightstick.
Right.
So, but yeah, it's amazing.
So right now, we are taking a pause. Wait and see what Peer does. This is something that we can reevaluate here in the future. Maybe if there's more clear guidance from the state, we'll see where we go from there. So I figured I'd give you a heads up. That's kind of where we're sitting on our ALPR. Still using it in our vehicles. The guys still have it there, so it's still a useful tool from that side of things. So,
well, and one thing that I would just like to add to that, and I appreciate your comments. I know that there's been a lot of comments on social media, some correct, some not correct, and everybody has a different stance. One thing that I would like to just make sure and pass on, that, destruction of that property is still a crime, regardless if you support it or not. That's not the way to get things changed. So please do not cause damage to the property. We're hearing people come up and talk to us, and that's the type of action that we want to see, not the damage. So thank you. That's all I got to add on that.
We are investigating those, and unfortunately with social media, like you're saying, it takes 10 truths to undo one lie or one misinformation that's going out there. So it's kind of difficult to stay on top of that right now. But
okay.
Any other questions there? If not, I'm going to jump down to our yearly report from our SRO, School Resource Officer. The schools are July to July in their fiscal year, so that's kind of what we keep track of our hours and keep track of everything that we've been dealing with from there. So just to kind of break that down a little bit, it's kind of fitting. Today is the first day of school here in Watertown, and some of our schools are starting up out in the rural schools. So our School Resource Officer responded to 1 property crime, 50 personal crimes, 6 conflict resolutions, 123 community programs that he was kind of involved with, and 1,027 school assists in the 25 and 26 school year. Well, I kind of asked him, what is the school assist? What exactly are some of those things that you guys are doing when we're talking about a school assist? Because there was 1,027 of those amongst our 3 rural schools here. He gave me a whole list of different things that he's kind of been working on, and I kind of had an idea of what some of those were, but as I chat with him a little bit more and kind of go through it, I learned that he's obviously doing a lot more than what I even kind of was thinking initially. So it's been a great program. I know our schools are excited to have him in there. These are just a few of the things I'll read off here. Uh, One day making an art project with a class there, teaching staff and admin in services about law enforcement and kind of scams and trying to stay up to touch with them a little bit. He's also receiving information back to them about the kiddos and what they're doing. He may take a class and teach, if there's uh, maybe math class or something like that, where the teacher's gone, he'll fill in a little bit and teach a class for an hour or something like that. There's some other ones. He's been collaborating with the Watertown Healthy Youth here in town and Human Service Agency on youth programming, making sure that we're bringing those out to our rural schools. Working with our state's attorney on the diversion program, youth issues and some best practices there. So we're kind of expanding out to our rural schools a little bit there. Working with the camera and door vendors on repairs, improvements to campus safety, working with the school administrators on policy on trying to how we can make our schools safer. One of the things there is he's gotten some AEDs donated by the FOP to our schools that were unfortunate didn't have them. So we've been making sure that those are staying up and staying working. One other one that he'd recently done is he every year tries to get about 100 kits, hygiene kits put together from sponsors in the community and then hand them out to unfortunate kids that maybe don't have a toothbrush or don't have shampoo or something like that. So he works closely with those kind of kids. Been working with the penitentiary here, and he got a couple dozen bikes donated to one of our rural schools here to add another curriculum to their PE program. So those are just a few of the things that he's been involved with. The list goes on and on and on. So I'm kind of proud of our school resource officer. They oftentimes don't get as much credit as they deserve being out there with our youth. So he spent 1,482.5 hours in our schools of his shift. So you can see that you divide that up between all three schools, it's about 500 hours per school that he's been in with our rural schools. So any questions there?
It's a great partnership.
Yep.
Appreciate that.
Great partnership with our schools.
So you going to the football games?
He goes to some, and then we try to get some other deputies there too, but yeah, we
Good.
kind of make sure that the other deputies get involved, but yeah.
Awesome.
So
Will you be available after the meeting? Will you be in your office?
I can, yep,
Yeah, I'd like to visit with you a little bit.
that works. Yep.
Okay,
Okay.
thank you.
Thanks, Sheriff.
All right.
Thanks.
Thanks, Brad.
All right, now we can move down to the Emergency Solutions Grant. This is discussion possible action to allow the Community Service Office to apply for that grant from the South Dakota Housing Authority.
Morning, Sarah.
Good
Good
morning.
morning, Sarah.
Good morning. Hi.
Morning.
Okay, so this Emergency Solutions Grant is a grant that ICAP has typically run for Codington County. They have chosen not to pursue it any longer. So we don't have the Emergency Solutions Grant in this form in Watertown. This is what it is. It's funding through South Dakota Housing Authority to help with rental assistance for people that are literally homeless. That's called rapid rehousing. And for people that are at risk of homelessness, it's called homeless prevention. So there's two funds that will be that I'm requesting that we apply for. The total amount that we're able to apply for, that any one entity is able to apply for, is $80,000. I'm still working on the numbers. It's probably closer to 65 to 70,000 is what we would be applying for at the county. And again, that would be funding that would go towards housing for people that are literally homeless and not able to get into Watertown Cares, and people that are at risk of being homeless and using the homeless prevention funds for that amount. So that would be around
Move to
65,000.
Second.
Motion by Johnson, second by McElhaney.
Sure.
Did you say that there was a match to that?
There is a match to this one.
Sure.
It would be covered through my salary and the other funding that we have already been using
Okay.
for that. So
Commissioner
Yes.
Gable.
What did you say changed in the process?
ICAP had been covering Codington County, and they're no longer covering Codington County through the ESG
So
grant.
this is it's ultimately HUD money or
Yeah, it's their continuum of care. It is HUD. It's ultimately HUD. It's South Dakota Housing's HUD grant. Yeah.
Okay, so we have a motion and a second. Any more questions? Not, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Thank you.
Thank you. Have a good day.
Item number 11 is discussion possible action to renew the current Connect Care MSP to the new Two Trees MSP program. Brenda, is this you?
Lee and I met with some representatives from Two Trees, and I don't know, Lee, if you want to go into it. It's basically the same coverage with the addition of the antivirus security, endpoint security, and then cybersecurity. Now that we are through SD Gov, we have some of that coverage, but these would be some additional coverages through Two Trees that they would like to also make sure that we're covered with. And I don't know, Lee, if you have anything to add to that.
It's just kind of keeping up with the threat in the cybersecurity world. And then the other thing to keep in mind is SD. Secure SD does cover some other costs that at some point in the coming years, we'll probably have to want to keep those. We have to, the county will probably have to assume. But for now, guess the question is, do we want to, I guess, agree to this new plan? So.
Is this question, Mr. Chair?
Yeah, Commissioner.
The cost of
Franklin.
this, $6,399. Is that, the budget?
Yes. Well, that's what, yeah. So I need to run that number but I did increase that line in the commissioner, because this comes out of the commissioner's budget.
So something out of our budget?
Yeah. So I did budget an increase, whether I just have to check on some machine.
I apologize. The phone rang. I had to answer it. Didn't know if it was a public comment or not. So, okay. Yeah, it says potential spam. So I think we're
Pizza?
good. A little bit of confusion there. Okay, so is the recommendation to accept the proposal? We have a motion.
So,
I'll second it.
Okay, for the amount of $6,399.
so the other thing that, so that's the monthly fee. And then to make it easier to budget, we had it was not, over the calendar year, we're gonna take this contract to the end of 2027 to make it a little easier for us to put into our budget, going forward. So.
Right. Motion in a second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Item number 12 is to note the petition to refer ordinance number 83 has been filed. Signatures have been verified. State's attorney's explanation completed and will appear on the November 3rd, 2026 general election ballot. You do have a copy of that ordinance in your packet, and I will just kind of read it here this morning as it has been drafted by our state's attorney. Madam Auditor, do you have anything you want to add on this?
No, you go ahead and read that. That was the state's attorney summary.
So this is the title. It says an ordinance imposing a county gross receipts tax and a use tax for Codington County, South Dakota. Ordinance 83 was adopted by the Board of Codington County Commissioners on July 21st, 2026. Thereafter, the ordinance has been submitted for referendum vote on a petition by qualified registered voters of Codington County for acceptance or rejection of that ordinance. The state's attorney's explanation is that Ordinance 83 provides for a 0.5% gross receipts and use tax on the gross receipts of persons engaged in business within Codington County who are subject to the retail, occupational, sales, and service tax, as well as for the privilege of use, storage, and consumption of items purchased after the 1st of January 2027, beginning after the effective date. Counties were granted the authority for the tax under Senate Bill 96, 2026, codified as South Dakota Codified Law 10-52B. The revenue generated must be deposited into a county property tax reduction fund. That fund must be used to provide credit against the property taxes on property classified as owner occupied. The credit must be applied in an equal percentage to all qualifying properties. if the money in the fund exceeds the amount necessary to replace 100% of the taxes on owner-occupied property, the surplus must provide a credit against the property tax on properties classified as agriculture and non-agriculture in an equal percentage. The county may use up to 2% of the money deposited into the fund during the first year of the fund and up to $20,000 in each subsequent year to administer those requirements. The fund may not be used for any other purpose. A yes vote would approve ordinance number 83 as adopted by the Board of Codington County Commissioners on July 21st, 2026. If approved by the voters, the ordinance would become effective on the date permitted under South Dakota Codified Law 10-52B-10. A no vote would disapprove ordinance number 83 as adopted by the Board of County Commissioners on July 21st, 2026. The ordinance would not take effect and no existing Codington County ordinance would be repealed by a no vote. That is the state's attorney's explanation on ordinance 83 in the request to repeal that. So any questions on that? Any comments? Okay, so that will be on the general election ballot, which will appear on November 3rd, 2026. All right. And I would like to just take a moment to thank the people that took the initiative to seek signatures on that and get it on the ballot. That's fine. That's great. That's our process. That's how we do things. And so we appreciate them doing that. All right. Item number 13. Note office closures on Labor Day, which is Monday, September 7th, 2026. The offices will be closed on Labor Day, Monday. Action to approve abatement applications is number 14. 15, action to approve claims for payment.
First of all is salary claims for August in the amount of $888,558.98.
For motion to approve.
Motion to approve.
McElhaney, second by Johnson. Any further discussion? Not all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? That motion carries. Go on with the second.
Also, so you also have a few claims that missed the deadline, health equity. And then there are 3 for mental illness in the amount of $4,606.26.
Move to approve.
Second.
Motion by Johnson, second by Schwer. Discussion on that item. Not all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? That motion carries.
And then we had one jail claim that came in after the rest of them were submitted to Architecture Inc. in the amount of $26,081.
What is the 30,000 on there?
That's the total of all of them together.
Okay, okay.
Move to approve on the architect.
Second.
Okay, motion by Gable, second by McElhaney. Discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Is that it for claims?
Yes.
Okay. Action to approve automatic budget supplements, number 16.
To
Action for personnel changes.
We have several of those. We have one for Tegan Moe. She is the assistant appraiser in the equalization office. Pay grade AA, step A, $18.68 an hour. This is a temporary position, part-time. We also have Edwin Henry, a correctional officer in the jail. He's switching from part-time to full-time, step 1, $27.66 an hour. And then Charlie Daly, who is facilities tech 1. He is moved over to the ag building. He was in the courthouse, moved to the ag. His remains at the same pay rate, grade 20, $24.84 an hour.
Move to approve. Second.
Motion by McElhaney, second by Gable to approve all those in one motion. Any discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. We do have some travel requests.
Yes, you have 2. One for Weed and Pest to sit in the weed booth, and then also West Nile virus staff to go to a conference.
Move to approve.
Second it.
Motion by Johnson, second by Schwer. Just an editorial comment, Steve. I know you enjoyed manning that booth at the state fair. We enjoy seeing you there every year. So thank you for doing that. Appreciate it. All right, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Item number 19 is public notices. A possible quorum of commissioners could be in attendance at this next week or this week.
I was confused.
Thing.
I know last week I thought we had a commission meeting last night, but it's this coming Monday. I don't know. I just wanted to get done with that August.
Zoning meeting, I know, I was thinking all day I had a meeting last night too.
I know, and I even had to kind of go do a little digging to make certain I wasn't missing it.
Yeah.
But that's the coming Monday night.
I do have a meeting in Pier on Thursday for the Law Enforcement Standards and Training Commission, so I'll be attending that. Anybody have anything else?
And then after the meeting next week, I'll be leaving for Pier for the South Dakota Retirement Board meeting.
Okay. Nothing this week. All right, let's go ahead and move on. Anybody have anything for old business? Number 20, old business. Seeing none. Anything for new business? Anything for new business? Nothing. Now is the time and place for public comments. Again, that number to call is 882-6248 or 882-6297. If you have a public comment, please call in now. We'll give you just a few moments to do that. Otherwise, is there anybody in the gallery that has any public comments this morning? Any public comments? All right,
There you
let's
go.
go ahead and go to this line. This is Mr. James Simmons. Good morning, Mr. Simmons. You are in the county commission meeting for the public comment. Go ahead, please.
Yes, thank you, sir. Yes, my name is James Simmons. Thanks for taking my call. Appreciate it. To say thanks to the sheriff for his comments and his update on the ALPR system. And I would ask, how does this affect the contract that we have in place with Flock? Do we get any of the money back that we've paid to them since they're unable to maintain and service the cameras, keep them operational? And arguably, the reason it came down was because of Flock's, national public image. The sheriff's department wasn't attacked. It was Flock's equipment that was attacked because of their national image is poor right now. So it's their fault the cameras were taken down. So can they give us some of that money back? That'd be a question I would like to know the answer to. But then, I suppose on a more personal note, I'd like to, let you know that I'm a bit disheartened at what's taken place. I had nothing to do with the vandalism, but at the same time, we've now sent a message out to the community that, coming in and speaking in person, trying to make an argument was ineffective to get the cameras down. And now somebody who's gone out there and committed a crime and committed vandalism, they were effective at getting the cameras taken down. And so that's a bad message to send out there to the community. I would encourage anyone who feels passionately enough to commit vandalism to at least come into the meeting and express your concerns, in the appropriate, proper way. But either way, I appreciate your time and thanks for the comments.
Thank you, Mr. Simmons, for calling this morning. Appreciate that. All right, any other public comments? And I'm sure that Sheriff Howell will respond to his questions. So we will ask him to do that. No other public comments. All right. Do we have a need, commissioner comments?
I'd like to say I attended what was called topping out.
Topping what? Oh.
Topping out ceremony out at the new jail site the other day. Very well done. Good attendance. There were a lot of people there. And we all got to sign the last beam before it was raised and put into place. And a very, very short, informative meeting. And that's kind of like. So it went really well. Thank you.
Thanks to all the guys all the construction workers that do that hard work. I mean, it's looking good. A lot of progress.
Well, you were still on track for a July or August completion date on the jail.
This time, yeah. August next year.
Yeah.
So,
okay.
And just depends on a lot of things, but that's the plan.
Great. All right.
It was a good opportunity to thank the workers. Sometimes they are out there during hot and windy and miserable conditions, and they appreciated just a thank you.
Great. All right. Do we have a need to go into executive session this morning? Not seeing a need. We'll look for a motion by Johnson, second by McElhaney to adjourn. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. We are adjourned. Thank you and have a great week, everyone.